Hey, this is Xiang Huang. The project I am going to do is email spam filter. So the problem understanding is that I want to implement email spam filter. Email spam filter is a process which process incoming emails to determine whether an email is spam or normal, and thus prevent those unwanted emails entering users' inbox. So email spam filter looks like other filters programming, which is based on some certain criteria and judgments. So in my project, I plan to simulate an email spam filter. This email filter is based on Bayes' theorem, which uses the frequency of a word to make a judge. So there are some existing approaches for implementing email spam filter. The most popular one is the keyword method. So this method works as follows, and the users can predefine several keywords in the system, and then if a system receives an email, then this email will be compared with the system's keywords, and if there's a match, then this email is considered as spam filter, spam email, and then we just transfer this email to the trash and not going to your inbox. So the advantage of this method is that it's the simplest way to implement email spam filter. Its advantage is obvious. Its accuracy is very low because and if an email contains a word that match with the system's keywords, but we cannot make sure that this email is a spam email. So based on that, I'm going to implement a spam email filter based on Bayes' theorem. So first we need to know that Bayes what is Bayesian inference. So this Bayesian inference is different from other statistics methods. Bayesian inference is based on subject judgment, which means we don't need to know the object's evidence. For example, the conditional probability is the most important part for the Bayes theorem. Assume that there's two event A and event B. So from this picture, we can see that um, if we want to know the probability of event A happening, given that event B happened, the probability should be this formula, and then we can put the probability of event B to here, and then we can get get the result for the event A happening, given that event B happened. And then similarly, we can get the event B happening, given that event A happened. So then we combine these two formulas together, and then we can get a final result for this one. So in this formula, we call the PA as the prior probability, and this whole is we call it likelihood function. So this function is modification factor, which makes the judgment more for event A closer to real probability. So there's another meaning for this formula, and for example, if this one is larger than 1, which means the prior probability is increased and event A has higher probability to happen. If this one is equals to 1, and that means event B has nothing to do with event A. If this one is less than 1, that means the probability of event A is going low. So Next is about the bias filter implementation. So first we need to know what is bias filter. So in 2002, Paul Graham proposed to use Bayesian inference to implement the spam filter. So and we need to do is we are given two groups of organized email. One is the normal email group and the other is spam email group. So we need to build build an email history database, and we use these two groups to train the Bayesian filter. And the larger size of group, the better training result. So first we need to analyze all emails and extract every word, and then calculate the frequency of every word that appears in normal email and spam email. And then next we need to do is, for example, before when we receive an email, before doing any statistical analysis, we assume its frequency being um, spam email is 50% and normal email is also 50%. We use S represents for spam, H stands for healthy, so probability S and probability H are both 50%. Later, we pass this email, and if we found, for example, we use a sex word as an example. So according to conditional probability formula, we can calculate the probability of sex. And even though we know the probability of just one word, and it's not enough for us to make a judgment that email is spam or normal, because um, maybe so we just extend the conditional probability to the combining probability. That means, for example, we choose 15 words as keywords, and then if an email that um, contain these 15 words, and then we can calculate the probability of these 15 words, uh, and then if the probability is higher than, let's say, 0.9, and then we can judge that this email is spam email. If the probability of this formula is less than 0.9, and then we can make sure that this email is normal email. So next step is about the performance evaluation. So what I'm doing here is I create I want to simulate the server and also the client side. So and then I use the local machine to connect these two, the client server and the and the server's part, and then I will read the emails group, and then pass the emails, and later on I can calculate the result of this simulation. As we can see that I use the 1.127.001 and use the port 1801 to connect the client part and also the server part. After doing that, and I can get a result. So according to my experiment result, the ESM filter reaches high accuracy compared to the traditional methods, because it's based on a large statistics and using combining probability. So I think it's a very good way to implement this um, email spam filter. So I think that's all. Thank you.